Hi everyone, I'm Giddy, and this is my friend Dr. Kishel, and we are going to talk to you a little bit about a business opportunity. You clicked on a Facebook page or Facebook link, and I talked to you about another way of making an income without having to go to work. So you can be with your children and still earning an income and helping people. So I'm going to just ask some questions of Kishel so you guys can learn a little bit more about what this business is.
Yeah.
So what is this? How can I make money and be with my kids? This seems to be too good to be true.
You know what? It does feel too good to be true. And my regret is that I didn't do this a lot sooner, because I spent 20 years clocking in and working and getting paid well, but working, getting paid my 8 hours and then going home. And I was subject to working when they told me. So whether my child had a baseball game or a soccer game, or it was Christmas morning,
Or a class field trip.
I had to work.
Yes.
And so I regret not doing this sooner, because I missed out on so much. And man, those years went so fast.
Oh, it does.
And yeah, I would give anything to have those opportunities again. So my reason for not ever wanting to work my set schedule or 9-to-5 job again would be the time flexibility. You know, network marketing as a business is very low cost to get into, which is why we have a high failure rate. It's because nobody has skin in the game. Yeah,
right.
You don't have to do much to start a business, right? It's not like you're going and buying a franchise,
Right.
And you're spending, $500,000. $500,000 gets you a lot of reasons to go to work every morning.
Right.
This, you didn't invest very much money to get into this business. So you have to be very disciplined in doing money-making activities or working. That being said, the work isn't like it was when I had to do a 9-to-5 job.
Right.
I get to work from my phone at our pool. I get to work from my phone in Hawaii or in Mexico or on vacation. I mean, my work doesn't care if I'm working while I'm sitting on a beach.
Right.
So it makes it very flexible. It's very fun. And being a people person anyway,
Right.
This is a really, I guess.
So what does
fun
your
job.
work look like? What is work?
What is work? So working is really just taking care of my customers. So my number one money-making activity is helping people reorder if they need help. Of course, it depends on the age of the person that I'm helping. Some people are completely competent and don't need any help in reordering, and some people don't even have a computer or a smartphone, and so I do all the reordering for them. So number one activity to make money would be helping people customer service. The second money-making activity that we do for work is really getting new customers, right? So I advertise or market through social media. That's my niche. You have your own niche. It's not wrong to look for new customers at pickleball or at your mom's group or at the playground. There are people suffering everywhere.
True.
So you don't have to do it on social media. You can do it right in your backyard. You can do it at your neighborhood,
You could be at your kid's soccer game.
You could be at your kid's soccer
Somebody
game.
gets injured.
One of my most
I've got something for you.
Yeah, one of my most successful distributors does exactly that. She does her son is a big baseball player, and they do tournaments all over, and there is always a kid hurt, and she patches kids. And then patches parents on the sideline. She literally is just working between games, and she does very well.
Now, does she make enough money that she could be a stay-home?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say stay-home mom because
Yeah.
she's still working,
Right.
but it's on her schedule.
That's right.
She makes plenty of money doing that.
Yeah. So in network marketing, we're never allowed to promise wages, because obviously the money that you make is dependent on what you put into it, right? So some of it is strategy, some of it is volume, but all of it is individual. And so what one person makes, the next person may make twice or 3 times or 3 times less.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean
There's no
more.
promises.
There's no promises. But I can say that I, as a pharmacist, I made really good money, and within my first year had replaced my pharmacy income. So I love what I do. I don't ever want to go back to the things we talked about. I don't want to have to go back to missing Christmas or Thanksgiving or my son's or daughter's sporting events.
So you have a lot of knowledge in health and wellness, and this was your field beforehand. But let's say I know nothing about health and wellness.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about red light therapy. I don't know anything about how this stuff works. Can I still do it? Is it something I'm still able to do?
Yeah. In fact, most people have no experience in health and wellness. It's really a matter of, are you willing to help people? Are you willing to talk to people? Take care of customers? If those things are, essentially the same thing that they do at, the grocery store checkout, maybe a little bit better, but, any customer service role, all of us have those customer service skills. That really is what this is about, is seeing somebody's need and
responding.
Being brave to say, hey, is that something I could help you with? I see you're hurting, or I see you're struggling. Can I help? I have something that would help.
Is there a lot of access to information if I wanted to learn more, if I want to be able to share with them the technology or more about stem cells? Are there resources available to me? Is there trainings available to me?
There is.
Or am I just kind of thrown to the wolves?
There are so many things that you might get overwhelmed. In fact, there are schedules of calls that are 7 days a week. And you can plug into as many or as few as you want. There pretty much is calls all day, every day, from different successful podcast hosts, people kind of doing the talking on Zoom, just like we are. But there are not only podcasts where you can learn clinical information from doctors, from vets, from testimonials from other people, from business professionals like professional network marketers who are training people how to do this business. But it really is simple as sharing the product and helping people place orders. And then I would say, if you really want to be successful, the key to building this strategy of network marketing is to get 2 people who also want to build a business. So you help 2 people, and then they help 2 people. And then, unlike your 9 to 5, where you're getting paid every hour that you are punched in, then I'm getting paid the same whether it's me doing the work all by myself or it's you and me. So I'm getting paid on your work and on Sally's work, and it just kind of starts somersaulting or snowballing. So it builds residual income.
Yes. So you gave a great analogy of a snowball.
Yeah.
Do you want to share that with?
Yeah. So one of my friends, or one of my upline, had told me, she's like, network marketing is kind of like building a snowball. And yes, first you're doing all the work and you're rolling that snowball, and then you start rolling the snowball kind of up a hill, and it is work getting started. But then you get to the top of the hill, and it just you get enough customers, and you get a couple business builders, that it just starts snowballing. And if you teach those customers, like, hey, this is how you reorder, and by the way, there's an incentive of maybe earning your patches for free if you share this with a couple of people, like 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. And then it just kind of starts snowballing. And then you go, hey, you want to, I know your mom's struggling, and I know your friend, your neighbor is struggling. Bring them to our call. Like, let them hear from somebody else what these patches are able to do. And then if they're interested, then we'll help them. And you just kind of start building this snowball, and then it just kind of takes off.
So I don't even have to be like the expert in it. I can just say, hey, listen to this call.
That's right.
Talk to this person and
exactly. In
help
fact,
them
it's
sign up.
better if you're not the expert in it. Yeah, it's better if you are just the fisherman.
Okay.
And that you go out and you see the fish in the water and you throw a line, and then you show them a call. You show them the technology through somebody different, that you don't do all the work yourself. So we like to share. We like to do big Zoom calls, let them hear from other people. Oftentimes the calls have a practitioner of some kind so they can ask questions. It really is a team effort.
So if this was easy, everybody would be doing it.
I think everybody is doing it, but I would say,
What's the hardest part?
Oh gosh, I think everybody has a different hard part. Oftentimes the hard part for a lot of people are getting on camera, being brave on social media. For me, that wasn't a problem. For you, it's not a problem. But for a lot of people, it is hard. So that's the hardest part for them. Some people are just really shy and they feel like they're not an expert. And so they don't want to jump into somebody's business. So that's the hardest part for them. But other people, that's no problem for. So it just kind of depends. Everybody has their own hard part. I would say for me, it's being disciplined in my time, because it's real easy as a mom to get distracted with, end of school year parties or grocery shopping or, home projects. There's always something to do as a mom. So my challenge is really just being disciplined and working, setting my work time aside. So for me, that's my challenge.
And then how do you go about, we talked about you could find people at soccer games and pickleball and things like that. How do you find people, let's say I live in a small town, there's not many people in this rural area. How can I find customers to help?
Oh my gosh. Well, every town has a doctor because every town has people who are sick. So there's definitely places, not only can you find them locally, but you can also find them on social media. You can go to local practitioners. One of the things that I would say is a big advantage to being on our team is that I really love to teach people how to fish. And so that's something that we can really get into, and I would love to link arms with you, find out what your niche is, what your specialty is, who you're comfortable around, and then teach you how to fish in that pond. So,
so realistically, how many hours a week do you? And it's probably different now than when you started. So maybe give when you started and then give now.
Yeah. So I think it varies every week, honestly. The last couple of weeks I haven't worked very much. I haven't done a lot of fishing myself. It's been more just customer care. And so I would say maybe 5 to 10 hours the last couple of weeks. But because I have residual income and because I have a team, my income didn't change really. Not much, maybe $100. So maybe 5 or 10% at most. Do I notice a difference even though I really haven't worked since Easter?
I say your daughter's been busy with the rodeo stuff.
Yeah, it's a busy season, end of school year. So I haven't really worked. We went to Mexico the first week of April, and then we came back and my sister was in town, and just a million things in life. And yet that's the beauty of this business, is that I can do my work from anywhere. So whether I'm riding the car, when my husband's driving, I can be working on my phone. I can get my hour of, follow-up done. Or maybe I'm doing a presentation for practitioners, or maybe I'm doing a Zoom podcast, or maybe I'm doing other work things, but I'm not really, sitting at my desk just working. But
so I love the work when you meet somebody at a Panera and we have salad and tell them about the patches. And that's our job.
That's my job.
It's a wonderful job.
It's it's really hard. Yeah, I know, it's really hard. It doesn't look like work, does it?
No.
It doesn't feel like
it's
work.
still taking time.
It does. Yeah.
And it takes money.
Yeah.
I can't go to Panera and I guess I could just buy a nice tea or something, but
Yeah.
I do like their salads.
It is a tax write-off because it would be a business lunch.
This is true.
But yeah, it's one of those businesses that you can do anytime with anybody, and it's very rewarding. I mean, I just think, like, how blessed am I that my neighbor thought to share these with me and healed my daughter. And I know that there are so many kids out there that are suffering with different behavioral issues and toxicities. And man, just to be able to help, if you just focused on kids, right? If whatever it is, like, everybody has their own niche. Maybe it's maybe you volunteer at the senior center. Maybe you're a soccer mom. Maybe you have an autistic child. Maybe whatever it is, man, you have a niche of people who you can help. And I would say find 2 people that you like and you want to do business with. And that doesn't have to be like a best friend. It can be the local chiropractor, or it can be a massage therapist, or maybe it's a hairdresser.
Hairdressers do very well.
Very well. So it can be anybody who wants a side income. And then you go bring them to the same Zoom calls you're going to, or maybe they do different times because their schedules are different. But
that is kind of a challenge. So when somebody is working full time, it's hard to just quit your job and do this, because it does take time to get that residual income. But if they are working full time, it's hard for them to get on some of those Zooms and those meetings. But there is ways that they can still.
Yeah, they're all recorded. Almost all of them. The doc talk on Sunday is not recorded, but all the other ones that I know of are all recorded. So they can be listening on their commute to work every morning, or one day a week, or they can be listening while they're folding laundry. I can't tell you how many hours of podcasts I have listened to with my corded earbuds in, and been doing something else, listening at the same time.
I'm almost always, if I'm like cooking dinner, which I do like that some of the calls are at that time.
Yeah.
So I just put on the Zoom and I'm cooking dinner, listening to a thing and learning about the business, or I really enjoy that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I was gonna ask another question. I guess if I'm hesitant because I guess I'm afraid of failure, like, is this going to work? How do you help somebody I'm not like you, I'm not outgoing, or I'm not knowledgeable? How do you help that person to feel that it's something that they could do?
Well,
and maybe it's not for everybody.
Yeah, and maybe, it might not be for everybody. But I would say that people who aren't outgoing might actually have a strength with other non-outgoing people that some of us extroverts don't have, because sometimes we can be a lot. She's a lot. No, I'm just kidding. But, sometimes, like, again, you still have a circle of friends. You still have a network of people who are struggling with their health in some way, shape, or form. And the beauty of this product is that there's no other competition. We're not selling nutritional shakes where there's thousands of nutritional shakes. Right. We're not selling a weight loss supplement that, people are, they can take this one, or they can take that one, or there's
skincare. There's a million skincare.
Yeah, we're not selling any of those things. This is a patch that genuinely heals the body from the inside out, and we see amazing results, and there are no copycat products. There is nothing else like it, and there won't be for almost 20 years
because of the patents.
And then we have amazing technology in the pipeline coming.
Right.
So we have truly revolutionary health products. We have a water machine that is infused with a light frequency. That the clinical trials, they've had 7 clinical trials so far, and the respondents are seeing health benefits in as little as 15 seconds.
Wow.
In fact, the longest the trial participants took to respond was 2 minutes.
So like what kind of benefits are they feeling?
They're seeing an increase in the biochemical responses of the cells. So
So
increase
they have like a light on them or something. They have something. They're monitoring them somehow.
different measurement tools to
Okay.
measure. Well, they can actually see the light go through the esophagus, but they are measuring things like amino acid production and peptide productions, and they're measuring the functions of the cells and the energy production of the cells, and they're turning the cells from an aged cell back up to 15 years
Wow.
in its functionality within minutes.
And that's coming out in July, right?
This summer, yeah,
Yeah.
this summer. And then there's other products coming. There's 7 years. We have 7 years worth of new technology or products coming that are, going to change not only the way that we currently live, but the way that, it'll all be network marketing. It'll all be through our brand partners.
Mm-hmm.
And it's things like we have a power generator to generate power for your homes. There's telecommunications. There's different light things to help your plants grow.
Oh.
So
So it isn't just.
it isn't just this. No, we're a health technology company.
Okay. So,
So
it's health and technology.
Health and technology.
Which is.
So
I mean, that is where the future is.
That is where the
health and
future is.
technology.
yeah.
Wow.
So it's really an incredible company. I'm so glad to be a part of it. I love that our CEO is so faith-based. Like everything he does, and he full on, is proudly confessing that
Right.
this isn't his, that he was given this information, this knowledge from God, and that everything that, all these codes and these frequencies are actually decoded from the Word of God. And those, to me, like, to work for a company
Right.
who is centered around God and centered around, the same values that I'm trying to instill in my children, that to me is
And their
is worth
customer
something.
service is amazing.
They
like
are.
The company offers a 30-day money-back guarantee if someone isn't happy.
Yep.
They honor that. If something gets shipped wrong, they just send a new one out.
Yep.
No questions
No
asked.
questions
I mean,
asked.
it is a very, very good company.
They really do run the company on the premise of doing unto others as you would have done unto yourself. I
Right.
mean, I have not had one interaction with customer service that hasn't been like resolved in a fair manner. So I even had somebody who their FedEx package got delivered to the wrong gate. Same property, but an in gate and out gate, and they just assume that it always comes to the in gate, was actually at the out gate. She called the company, $500 package. They overnighted it to her. She goes out to get it, finds the other package at the out gate. So she called and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I got both. It was my mistake." The company said, "It's okay. Just keep it. Bless others."
Bless others.
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
And
So-
good for her. That shows her character that
Yeah.
she called to say,
Called and
"Hey,
said, "How do I return
how do I
this?
return
I'm so
this?"
sorry."
Yeah.
I had myself, we got the wrong package or the wrong patches in our shipment. We were supposed to have 39 and 49. We got 2 49s. Called the company. No questions asked. Sure, I'll put another X39 in the mail to you, tomorrow. So it's so nice. The company is they really do spoil us. Last year, I had to get my passport for the first time ever. We went to Mexico, to Greece. So we did a 5-day trip, all-inclusive vacation on LifeWave.
So these were trips you earned.
Yep, trips that we earned, incentive trips. So the company will have a competition, and anyone who qualifies gets an all-inclusive. Even your airfare is reimbursed, up to a maximum. And we went to Punta Cana. We did a Greek Isles cruise on Royal Caribbean, and then we did Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic in the fall, and then this spring we did Punta Mita in Mexico again.
Wow.
And I'm not sure. Actually, next week they're supposed to officially announce the fall trip.
Oh,
so
I can't wait.
yeah, so
Can't
there'll
wait.
be a summer and a fall trip. So
Okay. So in addition to being able to work from home, you can also earn trips
yep.
to take, I'm assuming just your husband or spouse.
Just depends how many you qualify for.
Oh, you
so
can
I
qualify.
actually qualified for 4 for the fall trip. So we brought our family of 5 with
Okay.
us, and then the little one kind of just tagged along. We were sharing the room. We shared 2 rooms anyway. Yeah, so all 5 of us got to go on that all-inclusive vacation. Totally spoiled my children. They may never want to travel with their parents again
So
on
probably,
a regular family vacation.
right? So it's nothing you would have ever been able to provide
Oh,
or
gosh.
wanted to spend the money to.
No, in fact, I thought, well, it's a long plane ride. I think we'll stay an extra couple nights. No, it was
No?
like $1,600 per room per
Oh.
night. I was like, never mind.
Never
We're not
mind.
staying the night. That was only for 2 people. That was a double occupancy rate. That wasn't the 5 occupancy rate. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. Well, if this interests you, if you think that you want to work on our team and learn more about this company and what we do, and if it's something you think you want to try out, just reach out to me and we will get you started. Thank you.